of the 2019 Volleyball Poundfest, and our pool play action continues here from the main gym where the eventual championship game will take place at McAllen High School, and this one will feature the Lady Bulldogs of Mac High taking on Weslaco East and the Lady Wildcats. Our broadcast continues throughout the day here. Tomorrow, one already preset fans is we're going to try to move around this tournament this year, and so next year, tomorrow, our coverage will come from McAllen Memorial as we follow some different teams that are moving their way after they reseed the pools after today's play. And then, of course, on Saturday, we'll be back here at this gym for the eventual championship game. Mac High won easily earlier today as they took on Edinburgh North. Weslaco East was challenged but came away with a victory over Porter. So both unbeaten in pool play as they get set for the first set. We'll take a quick break and come right back with the opening serve. This is Real Sports Live.
These are offering full-day pre-kinder. We have many exciting programs including chess and robotics. To register your child today, call 687-6473. McAllen ISD, my community, my school, mi orgullo. En McAllen ISD ofrecemos pre-kinder todo el día con programas de robótica, ajedrez y mucho más. Usted podría incluso calificar para pre-kinder gratis. Inscriba a su hijo hoy. Llame a 687-6473. McAllen ISD, mi comunidad, mi escuela, mi orgullo.
That was a quick timeout, and back we are as that play has already begun. Mac High out of the gate with a 2-0 lead as the Lady Bulldogs utilize that power and that strong serving. This is one of the top teams coming into this season on paper, and they are poised to make a run through volleyball this year. Diving play on the back row by Weslaco East, nothing doing. And another point for the Lady Bulldogs, and they are out of the gate, up 3-0. Back of the service line is Selena Sines. Sines serve to start it off and jump serves another one over. This time the Wildcats with a pass forward. No one there to receive that pass, and so no set. Another easy point for the Bulldogs of McAllen. And it's a 4-0 game here in game number one. They played 2 games in this pool play during today's action and tomorrow. Challenge at the net there, and Mac High scores again. They'll continue with the format of the 2 games out of 3 as they move through the bracket play early on Saturday. Eventually, when we get to the championship game, then they'll have it set up in more of a traditional format of the best 3 out of 5. Substitution in the game for Weslaco East as back at the service line is Alyssa Medina. Medina serves that over. McAllen on the attack with a jump set. Spike across looking for the back angle. That's out of bounds. Hit attempt that time by Alexa Ramirez. And Weslaco East, after falling down 5-0, has scored a couple in a row. They'll serve again here. Deeper serve in the back right corner. Good pass forward, center set, and a big kill down in Lexi Gonzalez makes her presence felt with that one to make it a 6-2 game. Gonzalez was named our player of the game in our first game here today, and it went over Edinburgh North. Heidi Moore back at the service line, gets it across with a line drive serve, and that's an ace served up for Moore. And McAllen now goes up 7-2. Good job on Billy Watson covering the early games. He'll be back for some more play-by-play. He wanted to rest his voice and get some photos taken. McAllen on the challenge here. Set it up for Gonzalez, tips it over the blockers, and it's a point. Diving attempt to try to recover that, Erlinda Amaya. Unable to get a hand on it. And McAllen goes up 8-2 here in the first game. Serving again is Heidi Moore. Deep serve. Libero back there to play it for Weslaco East. Set it up on the left side. That's blocked back at you. Ball stays alive. Wildcats can't get it over. Terrific play at the net that time by the Mac High Lady Bulldogs. Makes it in a 9-2 game. Another serve for Heidi Moore. Another line drive knuckleball serve. That's another ace. 10-2 as Moore serves up an ace, and what a ride through the service line for her on the first rotation. Timeout Weslaco East, all McAllen. Back after this.
How to add the VTX1 app to your Roku device. All your favorite shows from VTX1 Channel 1 and exciting games broadcast on Rio Sports Live can be added onto your Roku device by following these simple steps. Step
Back here as action resumes after a timeout. We'll get you back on how to pick up our Roku channel as time allows. McAllen with a 10-2 lead, and Weslaco East trying to mount an offense on a right side attack. But Jaylene Mata too strong on the hit. Out of bounds it goes, and McAllen now goes up by 9 at 11-2. Staying in the service spot is Heidi Moore. Line drives another one across. Libero back there to play it. That's Adriana Gonzalez, and she's been busy. Another point for McAllen as the return of serve is right now been the problem for Weslaco East to set something up to try to come at this McAllen team. They've been just backpedaling. Here's a better attempt here. Spike across, though, played by Moore on the back row. Set up Gonzalez, tips it past the blockers, and that is in. It lands just in for the point for McAllen. Gonzalez, you have to respect so much her hitting power that as a blocker on that net, you go up fully expecting the big hit. Ball goes in the net there. Another point to McAllen, and the Lady Bulldogs in the blink of an eye up 14-2. Both of these teams won their first games in pool play, so the winner here pretty much take control of this pool. Bulldogs set it up with a high set right side. Tipped over this time by Ramirez. Now East on a back row attempt. Kill attempt by Adriana Gonzalez is picked up. Back row right back at you for McAllen. Punched up in the air. Wildcats will recover and get it over, but here's a chance here for the Lady Bulldogs. The pass on the money, the set for Gonzalez, and she puts it away down in the corner. Lexi Gonzalez makes it 15-2. Later on, McAllen will play Porter. That'll wrap up their pool play. Coming up next, we'll see that Porter team back on the floor as they'll take on Edinburgh North. Edinburgh North will then play Weslaco East. And then day one will conclude about 2 o'clock. The final game will tip off. Up 13. Bulldogs looking for more. Block back at you. Play at the net, back over on the east side. Weslaco sets it up. Weslaco East Wildcats get it over. Bulldogs on the back row. We'll just have to ease this over. Another good chance here for the Lady Wildcats. Back row attempt, and that's too strong and out of bounds. Longest rally of the game is that time the Lady Wildcats were able to sustain play and at least have an opportunity to set up some type of hit. Bulldogs. Heidi Moore serves again. In the net, it's an ace, 17-2, and Moore is just blistering the ball on these serves. And it's not all just going to one spot. She's changing the pace, changing location, and keeping them off balance on the back row. Looking for the back corner, racing over there, making the play as Gonzalez, but then on the pass, nothing doing. And so again, you see what Moore's doing. She's changing location, and so you can't settle in on the back row. And when you do get to a ball, rotation just not there for the next player to receive that pass. Short serve here. Front row actually plays this one. Back on the Mac High side, back row set for Moore. From the back row up into the rafters it goes. This ball is still alive. Another chance here for the Bulldogs to go on the attack. Center set, tipped over the block. Played by the Wildcats. Nice job there on the front row by Megan Gonzalez just to keep a hand on that ball. Ball up over again. Gonzalez sets it up. Ball back to the back corner. Moore passes it forward. Set up by Heidi Heinkamp. Ball still alive on a longest rally of this game. Bulldogs on the attack. Hit it over on the east side. Get it right back. Diving play by Moore keeps that alive. Ball on the back row tipped over. This time Selena Signs in the mix. Back set again for Weslaco East. Short ball. Signs with a pancake keeps that one alive. Gonzalez then puts it away. Defense, 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 and then the Thunder. And it's a 19-2 game. On the Weslaco East side, again, you can try to build on this in that is back-to-back plays in which the ball stays in play much longer than what has been going on. There's another ace served up by Moore. And this by far is the strongest run through a service rotation that we've seen of any player thus far this year. Moore serves again. Line drives it over, just over the net, played by the Weslaco East Wildcats. Ball over on the McAllen side. High set on a back set. They'll tip that over. Golden opportunity here for the Wildcats, but they can't set it up. Back on the Mac High side, coming right back at you. High set, back row attack, and Moore puts it over. Played by the Wildcats. Set it up near the net. Can't get it over. Another point for the Bulldogs. 21-2 your score. Substitution in the game for Weslaco East as Jalen Mata will check out of the game. Replacing her, Jasmine Escobedo. Jump serve this time by Moore with some pace over on the east side. Second hit over, one-handed right back, backpedaling. How about that play by your setter, Heinkamp? Here come the Bulldogs again. Heinkamp sets it up. Gonzalez puts it away. That connection is lethal. Gonzalez from that outside hitting position. And Heinkamp, and go back to that, Maddie Heinkamp on recovering, backpedaling on that first hit, and then rotated right back into position to be able to set that up for the kill for Gonzalez. Another ball sails out of bounds off Weslaco East. And Heidi Moore now 2 points away from serving this game away. Gets it across. Played on the back row up near the net. Second hit over. Bulldogs will not recover that. A point to Weslaco East. A string of 19 points in a row by Heidi Moore at the service line. Reminding you, we'll be naming our player of the game at the conclusion of this, and that just put a big asterisk by her name as a front runner for this one. Bulldogs now on a return of serve. Set it up. Left side attempt, that's going to be Andrea Tovar on the kill, and that's good for the point as it's unable to be returned by Weslaco East. Substitution in the game. Maddie Garza checks in. Garza strolls back to the service line, 1 point away from securing game one here. The Bulldogs serve it over, and that's an ace. Just a dominating performance, and most of it from the service line. McAllen Bulldogs win game one, 25-3. Game two coming up after this.
Push OK on the remote control. Step 2. Type in VTX1 by using the arrow keys to move the cursor around the keyboard and pushing OK to enter the letters. When you're done, choose the VTX1 option on the right-hand side of the screen. Then push OK. Step 3. Choose the Add Channel option on the right-hand side of the screen and wait for the application to load. Congratulations! You have now successfully added the VTX1 app to your channel lineup. It can be found on the main screen under Home at the bottom of the list. For more information, visit the VTX1 website at vtx1.net/OTT.
Start the new year off right. Alpha Men's Primary Care wants to remind all men it's time for your annual physical. Call to schedule an appointment. It's about the body, mind, and emotion. Stop feeling sluggish, having no energy, or being stressed. Alpha Men's Healthcare believes in a holistic approach to your overall health. Even if you have low testosterone, diabetes, high blood pressure, or gained weight, let Alpha Men's Primary Care help you increase your energy, stamina, endurance, and quality of life. Start feeling young again. Alpha Men's Primary Care is changing the way men's healthcare is done.
Hi, we're Robert Mello's favorite cats, and thank you for watching Real Sports Live.
Hola, les habla su amigo Benjamín Gómez, el alcalde de San Benito, invitando a toda la gente que venga a visitarnos aquí a San Benito. Crucen por el puente Los Indios, más bien conocido como el puente de Lucio Blanco. Visítenos a las atracciones que tenemos aquí en San Benito. Aquí los esperamos. Muchas gracias. Su amigo Benjamín Gómez.
Back here on Rio Sports Live, you see the Lady Bulldogs under the direction of Paula Dodge. Our thanks again to the school district here at McAllen for allowing us to broadcast this game and being a part of this. Visited with Coach Dodge earlier today. Told her we were excited to see this team play out as we covered them during the summer months. And also ask her a question as we saw some of the teams during summer play this year split their players, their primary varsity players, into two different groups. And so we were questioning that. She said, yeah, I did that once. And she said it was a few years ago that we went that route. But if given a choice, of course they don't coach during the summer, but she said if given a choice, I'd rather see my girls play together versus that split squad. She goes, it makes for some competitive volleyball in the summer when they're playing each other, but it doesn't add any rhythm or cohesion to the team, which is what we're looking to build when we see our girls participate in the summer. Made a lot of sense. We knew coming in they were going to be one of the front runners. We knew McAllen Memorial across the way. We also knew Nikki Rowe was going to be in the mix, and Mission Veterans, of course, right there. Question was, how strong is Los Fresnos this year? Who else was going to step in and grab some eyes? Harlingen South is suddenly making a lot of noise. We'll see the Lady Hawks in action tomorrow as they're over at the Donna tournament. We'll split our systems up, have one system over there and another one here to cover both of those tournaments. Mac High to serve as we start game two. Played by the East. Lady Wildcats get it over. Bulldogs, though, can go right on the attack. Center set middle. Played, though, by the Wildcats. A rare attempt for them to attack. Spiked over. Played by the Bulldogs. Set it up to Signs. Puts that over. Back row plays that. Nice dig by Gonzalez. Back row attempt. Better pace this time on the East, and that results in the net. McAllen and Weslaco East takes the lead, 1-0. See a different approach that time. It all started on being able to return that serve for the Wildcats. Back at the service line is Merlinda Amaya. Amaya ready to serve it up. Bulldogs on the return of serve with a back set. Looking down in the back, that's going to be out of bounds. Strong hit attempt by Selena Signs. Sailed long. East out with two to start this game. That's a near ace. Ball on the back row, Gonzalez one-hands that over. Weslaco East from the back row attacks again. Looking for the back row, that is just out of bounds. Bulldogs gain the point. Now they'll serve it up. Signs back to serve. Center, and that's an ace as she puts it right down in front of the back row. Bulldogs tied at 2 apiece. Signs to serve again. Strong serve across, played by Weslaco East. A high back set, that's in the net though. Setting up Alondra Perez. Unable to get it across. Bulldogs out 3-2. Another serve across. Played by East, they'll set it up. Hit over that time by Jaylene Mata. And a point for the East Wildcats. Check that, they give it to Mac High, so it's a 4-2 game. Bulldogs to serve again. Deep serve, knuckleball's over. East punches that past the blockers, down in the corner. That's a point for the Wildcats. 4-3 ball game as Weslaco East matches their output of game one early on here in game two. That's how dominating that game was in game one for the Mackay Lady Bulldogs. Second hit over and right on the money. That's an easy point for McAllen. Bulldogs up 5-3. Serving again back at the service line is Audrey Zamora. Zamora gets that across. Played by the East Wildcats over on the McAllen side on the back row. Second hit sets up Gonzalez off the net about 6 feet away. She hammers another one away. And a point for McAllen makes it a 6-3 game. (6-3) score. Zamora to serve again. Plays that over on the East side. Reaching up, getting that across, and a point for the East as Alondra Perez scores for the Wildcats. Back come the Bulldogs on the return of serve here. High set at the net challenge there. Diving play keeps that alive. Back on the Mackay side. Racing over to set that is Maddie Garza on the hit. They'll award that point to McAllen. They go up 7-4. Up next, Edinburgh North on the court, taking on Brownsville Porter. Early games here today and then tomorrow. And then Saturday, we're back for, if I counted it right, 6 games from this court on Saturday. High set for Gonzalez, off the block, kept alive by the Wildcats of Weslaco East. Just past the blockers. Covering that nicely was Maddie Heinkamp. Ball back on the East side. Chance at the net, tipped over, but in the net called on Weslaco East. And a point to McAllen. 8-4 game. And that time East had crept further ahead on the offensive end. They were about to test the powers at the net where they set right there. See if they go back to that if given an opportunity. McAllen on the attack from the right side. Strong hit attempt by Maddie Garza again. This time it's covered, but then ball goes in the net. Another point from McAllen, and they're up 9-4. Bulldogs just serve it up. Back of the service line is Maddie Heinkamp. Heinkamp puts this one into play. Back row on the second hit. Third hit coming up. Free hit coming up for McAllen. Easy set, Gonzalez. Back row, that's good, point. 10-4 McAllen. The way these pools work, they play 3 games today, and then they reseed the pools for tomorrow's action. The winner of this pool stays right here, meaning McAllen is vying for a spot to just stay right here on their home court. Ball over on a big hit attempt and another kill for the Bulldogs. They go up 11-4. Ball over on the Mackay side. That becomes a set and another kill for Lexi Gonzalez. Another timeout, Weslaco East. Just when you think they don't have any more firepower, they reach back for a little extra. 12-4, back after this.
South Padre Island Golf Club. Come for a visit. Stay for a lifetime.
Music lovers, you have to stop and see the assortment of records, tapes, and records memorabilia at Forever Memories today. Located at 237 North Sam Houston in San Benito, Texas, there's over 10,000 records on display. Back here on Rio Sports as we pick up coverage after a timeout called by Weslaco East. A rare service error by the Mackay Bulldogs results in a point. And a rotation opportunity for Weslaco East as Alicia Castillo will check in the game. Castillo to serve. Right-handed server gets it across. Bulldogs go on the attack and a kill attempt from the left side up into the ceiling area. Covered. They will not get it over. Another point to McAllen. Whether it's Gonzalez, Maddie Garza, anybody that rotates front row for this McAllen team, they're willing to set them, which makes it even more dangerous to try to defend this team. Gonzalez back at the service line now. Plays that over on the east side, a high set right side, that's in the net. And coming up on the approach, you could see that as Brisa Guzman could see the double block already in place as she was making that final approach step on the hit. 9-point game, and that is out of bounds on a service error. And so Weslaco East takes over the serve. Guzman back to the service line. Checking in is Aileen Meza for the Wildcats. Guzman serves it over. Good pass. Right on the money, the high set. And a point to Weslaco East as that one goes in the net. Guzman to serve again. Gonzalez passes it. A high set by Heinkamp. And the kill attempt is down and in by Alexa Ramirez as she makes her presence known. Ramirez on the kill. 8-point lead for Mackay. Back to serve for the Bulldogs is Sabrina Garza. Gets that over on the east side. Weslaco East on the attack. That's too strong, out of bounds. 9-point game. Homecamp back in the game. We'll serve it up. Played by Weslaco East. Ball over on the back row. That sails out of bounds. Double-digit lead for McAllen. Jump serve across with some pace. Played on the back row. That may have been sailing out. Back on the Mackay side. Helmkamp passes it. Now they'll set it up. Another attempt by Ramirez. That's in the net. And a point to Weslaco East. East will serve it again. That's in the net. Point to Mackay. Bert Ruiz on the camera. Billy Watson was doing play-by-play earlier. He's resting his voice right now. He'll be back in the mix. Marcus Clark running around trying to make sure the social media side of this is covered as well. With the photos. That's in the net. Another point to the Bulldogs. They go up 19-8. Reminding you, our highlights are coming up a little bit later of these games. We pick our top 12 plays each game now. We also select the player of the game. That one sails out of bounds. Another service error for McAllen. And so from a Paula Dodge perspective, missed serves here in this game is a coaching opportunity, even though you win going away. In dominating fashion, you still have an ability to talk to your players. That one's down in the back row, but out of bounds. Another point for East. It's service errors, it's mishits that come into play when you elevate even later in tournament action here, but especially as you start eyeing how far you want to make a run this season. Those little things are what open doors to big teams setting themselves apart from the others. They'll all be good teams they face, but what can you do to eliminate those type of mistakes that are unforced errors you're in control of? Ramirez to serve for the Bulldogs. 4 points away from securing another easy win here in pool play. That's just across. That's an ace served up for the Bulldogs, and their serving has been good, even though they've missed a couple here in this game. Up by 12. Another service chance for Ramirez. Line drive, ball back over on the first hit. The pass, the set, Gonzalez the hammer, and puts it away again. It all started with a pass, and once that setter receives something that easy and that soft to work with, the hitter has plenty of time to get the footwork in place, and then the hit provides a point. That's down another point for the Bulldogs of McAllen. And now they'll serve to try to win this game as Ramirez is ready to go. Serves it across, line drive, played by the Wildcats. Back set, punched over, blocked back, kept alive. That's going to be a lift. And a point for East. Wildcats push off one game point. Now they'll serve it up. Deep serve, pass right on the money. High set center. Good play on the back row by the Weslaco East Wildcats. They'll punch that over. Gonzalez is there. They'll quickly set it on the back set. That's going to be 2 hits and a point for Weslaco East. Wildcats, back-to-back points scored. Serving, Alyssa Medina. Medina gets it across, deep serve. Good pass forward, and they'll set up Gonzalez. Miss hit on that. And a point for East. They're bringing Gonzalez and Ada Sadler at the same time. This time they'll go on a back set. That's off the block, played by Weslaco East. High set, tipped over the block, covered though by Mac High. Set it up to Gonzalez on the run, puts it away, game over. 25-13. We tried to get cute there for a while with some varied looks on the approach. And then when it was all said and done, just went back to the strength. Set up Gonzalez, and she put it away. That'll do it for our broadcast, our player of the game. I'm going to go back to it. Heidi Moore is going to get my player of the game, serving nearly 20 points from the service line in the Game 1 victory. Mackay Bulldogs go to 2-0 in pool play. Weslaco East falls to 1-1. Reminding you, the replays of these games will be available for a little while, but most importantly, the highlights will be up later on for your enjoyment. That'll do it for the broadcast as McAllen wins this one 25-3, 25-13. Bulldogs one more game remaining in pool play. Weslaco East, same story. Next, Porter and Edinburgh North. Until then, so long for just a while.